Eric Bishof got what he wanted last night at WWE Unforgiven, but unfortunately for him, HLA now stands for Hideous Large Ass. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and we are here for the WWE Top 5 Raw moments, and at least Eric Bischoff didn't have an ass in his face tonight, so that's not going to make the top 5.
Yep, it's a plus point for Eric Bischoff. His brown nose may got a little bit cleaner tonight, but it didn't stop a few other gay things being on tonight's show.
Plus, I think Rico is the new brown noser.
Yep.
So he must have had Rikishi's ass in his face recently.
Come on, Eric, I wasn't there. You told me to go into town. I didn't want my nose up Rikishi's ass, buddy. But yeah, I think Rico is going to spread some of that SmackDown fainness all over Raw.
But the theme of tonight seems to be that Eric Bischoff isn't happy that the Raw roster doesn't really back him the same way the SmackDown roster backs Stephanie McMahon.
He's got a point. You know, SmackDown came to Stephanie's aid numerous times, while Raw just laugh in Eric's face.
And with that said, let's get in, guys, to the top 5 moments. Number 5, we have the Kane Hurricane celebration promo backstage. The Hurricane gets asked by Terry why Kane picked him. He seems a little bit offended. He's like, why wouldn't Kane pick me? We both got a lot in common. We both wear masks. We both use the choke slam as finishers. And then Kane walks up and he says, we're both freaks.
Yep, we are both freaks. They are both. I mean, who is the biggest freak out of both of them? Kane used to be a well bigger freak, but now I'd pretty much say it's level playing field between them.
I think Kane's still a bigger freak.
Yeah, it's almost like Hurricane's pretending to be a freak with the whole gimmick, but Kane's
a freak. Hurricane's a delusional guy that thinks he's 500 pounds and can choke slam the Big Show. That's the difference here, really. Hurricane wants to go and celebrate. Kane's like, yeah, I'll celebrate, but I'm going to do it in a different way. And he grabs Terry Runnels and he basically assaults her on TV, gives her a big sloppy kiss before going, now that's cool. And then the Hurricane says that that's what you call a real American. Coming at number 4, we have Booker T and Eric Bischoff. Bischoff is not happy. He finds out from Rico that basically Booker T was making fun of him backstage. Although it was a combination of Booker T, Goldust, Eric Bischoff for some reason just decides to call out Booker T.
Is it racism?
Or maybe he just doesn't want anything to do with Goldust. He's already had Rikishi's ass in his face, and maybe he fears what Goldust would put in his face, so he wants Goldust to stay as far away from him as
maybe Goldust
possible.
Would offer a bite of his wiener to Eric Bischoff.
Booker T comes out, basically uses a few puns, laughs at Bischoff, makes a few Rikishi jokes. Pretty
Your
decent
breakfast
promo.
is heinous as a large man's anus.
Bischoff isn't happy. He calls out Rosie, Jamal, Rico. Goldust makes the save, and Eric Bischoff's plans of humiliating Booker T didn't go exactly the way he'd hoped.
No, they didn't, but they will later on tonight. But a decent segment here between these two.
Some good lines for Booker. One of Booker's best promos in a while.
I would definitely agree with that. Coming up in 3rd place, you weren't a fan of this, but I loved it. It was Nowinski and Tommy Dreamer going back to school, baby.
Now, the way they advertised this, I thought we were going to get Nowinski actually teaching Dreamer and having like a classroom sit down, but we didn't really get that. It was basically just a brawl inside a room that had a couple of fucking geography maps on the wall.
Yeah, it was funny. King tried to say that, look, Dreamer's trying to teach Nowinski geography as he grabbed his face and shoved it right into fucking South America on the map. But I enjoyed this segment.
How many continents do you think Tommy Dreamer could mention?
New York. That's probably what he would come out with, man, honestly. I mean, the average American would fucking probably say New York. But Tommy Dreamer, he's a wee bit dumber than the average American. I mean, I probably would have preferred a bit of a sit-down segment here. But they went pretty much straight to Singapore Kane.
I think it's fucking crazy. No matter how dumb you are, no matter how bad your geography is, even you can't point to your own country on a map.
Yeah.
That's
Do you think Tommy Dreamer could point to Singapore on a map? Singapore Kane, baby.
Singapore Kane. Well, he pointed it right on Nowinski's head, and I think Nowinski's now out of action. Unlucky for him. Coming in number 2, we have the opening promo of the night after the triple threat match. It was Booker T and Goldust, and I guess they had their own little classroom meet here because they had more students than Nowinski. They had basically everybody who's not doing anything at the moment on Raw. Bunch of jobbers, really.
Yeah, that's when they whipped out the VHS back in the day, and you got R3.
Yeah, you had Jeff Hardy, Big Show, Stevie Richards, Kane sitting at the back of the classroom like the
And Tommy
degenerate.
Dreamer was there, wasn't he?
I don't think Tommy Dreamer was there.
There was some other jobber. There was 5. There was 5. I think it might have been Dreamer.
Was it Dreamer?
I think it was Dreamer.
Maybe it was Dreamer. Anyway, Booker T, Goldust, having a wee classroom. For some reason, I've botched the word classroom 3 times.
Obviously, you weren't in the classroom very much,
And
were
I'm
you?
not happy about that.
I enjoyed this segment, though. You know what? See, most times they whip out the VHS tape back in WWE. Like, it's good.
Yeah, normally when they whip it out, they're going to show you something. They showed you Rikishi's big ass in his face, and then Goldust had a poster of Rikishi's ass, and he says the only thing worse than this, the more heinous than this, was Fozzie's live concert on Raw.
Sick burn on Jericho. But that moves us to our top moment of the week. The Un-Americans losing their tag team titles to Kane and the Hurricane.
Kane and the Hurricane with a double choke slam. So tonight it was announced that Kane was going to be taking on the Un-Americans tag team match, but no partner announced. I mean, if Bradshaw wasn't injured, you could have maybe predicted Bradshaw, possibly Bubba Ray, possibly Jeff Hardy. But Jeff Hardy already wrestled tonight, and Bubba Ray was in the main event. So
if this was Bradshaw, they wouldn't have won the belts for me.
Well, that's true.
I think the fact there was someone new.
So the question is, who is Kane's tag team partner? Tommy Dreamer's already wrestled, Stevie Richards has already wrestled, and it turns out Kane's tag team partner is a man for SmackDown. He's coming for the blue brand to the red brand, baby, and that is the Hurricane. So you got Kane and the Hurricane in the same team, and they chokeslammed the Un-Americans straight to hell.
They did.
Double chokeslam for the win. Christian and Lance Storm, your title reign has come to an end. We had William Regal and Test try and get involved. It wasn't enough though, and we have new tag team champions. And I'm kind of excited to see what Kane and Hurricane can do with the belts. I was enjoying the Un-American run as well, but I like how back in the day you were getting fresh titles changes and fresh champions, because I think it meant when you did get a long title reign, it stood out more, it was more important. Whereas you look at WWE now and it's like half the belts, like it wasn't that long ago, like half the champions had the belt for over a year.
Yeah, and but now, back in the day, man, you got title changes all the time.
So it just means back then, in 2002 or whatever, 2003, 2001, that era, when you did have a long title reign, it just meant more.
You know what it did?
It stood out more. A 6-month title reign back in 2002 would have felt huge.
Yeah.
6-month title reign now just feels like the norm.
Probably the below average.
So anyway, guys, that is it for your Raw Top 5 moments. Let me know what you thought down below. We enjoyed it. And I also had the Union Underground singing. It wasn't that great, but you'd Stacey Keebler dancing in slow motion. So it just, when Stacey Keebler dances, she just looks more elegant. When you see Jacqueline dancing, she does look like a $3 hooker. Anyway, guys, that's it. We're going to hook this video before we get taken down. Until next time. Peace.